What's going on, guys? My name is Garrett here on the Jobless Gamers channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Destiny. We're doing a very high level strike, the Summoning Pits. Now this is exclusive footage only brought to you by the Jobless Gamers channel. So if you love Destiny and want more Destiny, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button and drop this video a like. Now, as you guys can see in the top right, I am level 16 and this is a pretty high level strike, and I'm going to be doing it with a few friends that you guys may know. It's Ghost Robo and Tetra Ninja. Now these guys are pretty cool guys, and overall I'm going to be playing the, I guess, Titan, but I'm going to be taking the subclass of Striker. Now at first I was going to play the Defender because I thought, you know, we're going to need a tank, but they decided to just let me go full DPS. So I'm going to let you guys listen to this, and here we go.
We can feel it. A hive abomination bred for unthinkable evil. We must pierce the veil of their summoning pits and destroy this creature before the hive unleash it upon us all.
So as you guys heard, there's some kind of creature that we need to stop. And in Destiny, there's always this, you know, enemy that we need to beat in every single planet we go to. And I believe we're on Moon right now. Now at Moon, there's a bunch of different, you know, places you can go. And this is the strike for, one of the strikes for Moon, I believe. And as you guys can see, the new mission, the Summoning Pits, Oceans of Storms, Earth's Moon. So what we gotta do is basically stop something from happening. We gotta kill some people or kill some monsters. And that is why we're going into the High Fortress. Now overall, this is of course a live commentary that, well, I guess a commentary that I'm doing after I did the gameplay, because I took this footage at a exclusive Destiny event where I was able to record stuff and, you know, talk with other YouTubers and Twitch streamers, and I wasn't able to tell you guys until today. But it was a great event, and overall, the stuff in this, I guess, strike are very different than normal, because right now I am level 16. But this is a lower level strike. So I am a super high level right now, level 16. But the monsters are level 6, level 8, somewhere around there. But it still is pretty competitive and pretty hard. Now, of course, we are, I believe, playing on, I think, hard difficulty. Not, you know, easy or normal. So we're like right up there, but this isn't the hardest difficulty. And this was actually the first time I'd ever played Destiny in a strike with other people, because I did play the alpha and I played a little bit of the beta, but didn't have as much experience as my friends that are in the game, like Ghost Robo and Tetra Ninja. So the gatehouse, so this is like the next area, I guess, of this dungeon, and that's what these pretty much are. Strikes are dungeons, places that you can go with friends and kill monsters. And throughout this dungeon, you'll see different level monsters, as you guys can see. Now we're killing level 12s, and I am level 16, and I'm not sure the reason for the level difference, because if you're level 18 and you have like a level 5 that you kill in the beginning, and then you're running level 12, it's like, why? Just make everything the same level. Not really sure what's going on there, but these wizards, I freaking hate the wizards and the knights so very much. It seems to me as the knights and the wizards are some of the harder mobs to kill in this game, especially when you're doing these strikes, or I'm just gonna call them dungeons from here on out, because in these dungeons you have multiple monsters you need to kill, and it seems as if a lot of this game is just holding down the right trigger and aiming down the sights. Pretty much that's all this game's all about. Just killing stuff. Not really any, you know, strategy to it. Just make sure you kill stuff and hope for the best. So as you guys can see right here, we're going to go ahead and try to open this gate. But right when we go to open this gate, it causes an event or some kind of mission that starts, because you do start this area off. And there's limited respawning as well. So right when you do start opening this gate, boom, monsters start spawning. Now monsters in this area will spawn from every direction, and there's a different wide, I guess, range of different monsters. We have thralls, we have wizards, we have knights, and we have a few other things I can't think of the names right now. But overall, there's a lot of stuff that starts spawning, so you want to be very careful of what direction you're facing, and want to protect, I guess, your teammates from dying, because they do pretty good amount of damage, especially those knights, if they get in close range. Now, as you guys can see, I just picked up a very nice green item. Now on the floor you'll have different, I guess, chances to pick up items, especially if, you know, you're playing with friends. Now everyone does have their own loot tables in regards to what loot is dropped. So if I just picked up that green, no one else would have been able to pick it up, because that is just on my screen only. And I think the same thing applies for ammo at times, where sometimes, you know, you'll be able to see ammo that others are not able to see, and sometimes you guys share ammo. So it's a very big mix of different things that go on in Destiny, and I like a lot of features, but I also don't like a lot of things as well. Now, in terms of these monsters and these acolytes, they're very easy to melee. It's just like a two-punch type of thing, but you also run into the acolytes like that, or wizards like that spawn behind you and will kill you very easy. He got me with a darkness blast, and totally wrecked my face. But it's alright. I know I have teammates that will pick me up, and if not, I do have a respawn in 15, 14, 13 seconds that I can get up with. But overall, normally you do have teammates that are competent, especially if you're playing with friends, that will pick you up when needed. And as you guys can see, they're on their way to get me right now. But there are a lot of monsters on my body right now, so they're going to go around and try to get me. And Ghost Robo, I believe, is also down. So I was able to spawn, and there you go. Now, you guys do see on the screen it says I'm supercharged. Now, supercharged is, if you don't know, an ability that every, I guess, person in the game gets when you kill enough monsters or you do enough things in the game. You will unlock a supercharge ability. Now, every supercharge ability is different for every class. So, the Titan supercharge ability is different from the other Warlock, I guess. So every Titan's ability is different, especially the class matters a lot. So in every class, I guess, in every, I don't even know what they're called technically. I know there's classes, and then I guess races, or no, it's like type. Not even sure what they're called, but in every type there's two. So I have the striker and I have the defender, and each of those have two different supercharge abilities. So that's pretty cool in my opinion, and it's the same thing applies for all the rest. So there's overall a grand total of 6 different types of supercharge abilities you can have, which makes it for a really interesting game in terms of strikes and different raids you can do in the near future, because you will need those defenders that use their defensive shield, or you will need strikers. And I just got totally exploded by that, I guess, architects that just killed me, and the knight. It was a god. I just got wrecked completely, but I know my teammates will be able to pick me up. And as you guys can see in the background, Ghost Robo is just wrecking people with his melee abilities and his supercharged knife. So there he goes. But overall, I think that this little event is fun. I know that Destiny has a lot of features like this, where you'll be able to jump into different events, and every dungeon or strike has things like this, where, you know, you have different mini bosses before you get to the main boss. And that's pretty much how they all go. It's like, and that's how just much any MMO is. So as you guys can see, we're currently just fighting all these monsters. I see that I'm taking a lot of damage from those little things on the floor, so I gotta run away from those. But there's knights everywhere, and these knights do not play any games, guys. They are all over the place, do tons of damage, and I don't want anything to do with those guys, because of course if you get close to them, they will wreck you. But
Gate's opening.
as you guys can see, the gate is now opening. So let's go ahead and head on inside and see what is behind this gate for us, because personally I want to know what's going on behind these gates. So now we are going towards the summoning pits. Now overall, this, I guess, strike isn't too bad. It's not too long, it's not too short. I think it's just about right, especially the end boss, and you guys will see soon what the end boss consists of. Now when you get to these areas, you see the Hallowed Knights. Now the Hallowed Knights are pretty rough, but you also run into other monsters like Orgs and Thralls. Now the Org, you will see in a little bit, is pretty, I guess, rough. It's not the easiest of monsters, but it's definitely not the hardest either, because you can just sit back and kill it. But this Org gets you ready for the boss, and I think that's what the main objective is here. And I think that's what Destiny really capitalizes on, is just getting you ready for the end, I guess, mission, or the end objective. Now the Org you just saw has very similar things to the end boss that you will see in a little bit, that just makes sense. And you want to be very, very aware of your surroundings in Destiny when you do play, so that you know, these monsters do these things, because in every situation, every planet has different monsters. So here we have Thralls, we have Wizards, but on Mars we have different things. I think we have like Guardians. Oh, that's what they're called, actually, Guardians. I don't know why I couldn't remember that earlier, but we have different things in different planets, where the monsters are harder. They have different things. Like an example, like on Mars, they have mobs that have shields, where they actually deflect like all your shots, similar to the Knights, but it's an actual like iron shield, which is pretty cool. So we just arrived at the gatehouse, and we're approaching the summoning pit soon. But of course, with every MMO, there's always more surprises in every corner, and that's what we're about to run into as well. Just a bunch of new monsters, or monsters that we've seen before, that just want to kill us even more. So we just ran into a Wizard, a few Thralls, and overall the Acolytes and Thralls are just not that bad. And I don't know why a lot of people just don't like these monsters, but the few shots, they're really, really easy to take down, and I personally don't have any problems taking them down. Now, there's a big question in Destiny right now of whether or not there's a need for all the weapon types. Now, I got a lot of questions from you guys on Twitter, on Facebook a while ago, when I was, you know, expressing that I would see Destiny at PAX. Well, I was asking those questions because I was not actually seeing it at PAX. I actually went to the Bungie offices, and you guys, if you guys follow my Instagram, you saw that I took pictures of different things in the area of Destiny offices that are pretty freaking cool, like a life-size Master Chief, which I was like, what the hell, this is freaking cool. But overall, there's a bunch of different weapons in Destiny. I mean, I think there's like 6 or 7 just main weapons, and then secondary weapons there's like 6. So I don't know. I'm just trying to think like whether or not I like the whole different types of weapon fields. But one thing I do like are these drop ships. Similar to Halo back in the day, there were those drop ships that would drop more monsters. Exact same things happening in Destiny as you guys just saw. There was a drop ship that dropped in, more monsters dropped in, some thralls, some acolytes, and a wizard. So it's not too bad, especially because we're such high level. And the weapons and gear that we have is pretty overpowered as well. I think we have some of the really good gear in the game, it seems, because we're just able to blow through things so fast. And because of this event, I was really able to understand Destiny a lot more than I would have before. Now, when I got to this event, I was very, very, I guess, new to the whole, what the hell is Destiny? How do I play? And now that I've played it and really understood the whole game, I really got a better feel, better grasp of different items, like that black wax idol. I would have never known what that was for, and I learned what it was for at this event, because the developers were able to tell me what it can be used for and how I can eat it and all that stuff, because there's different consumables in the game, and I think that's really cool. I think that Destiny brings a huge new feel to the table. And here is the summoning pits, and here's the boss. So this is a big, I guess his name is Fogoth the Untamed, and it's pretty crazy. So what happens is there's a bunch of monsters surrounding him, and ideally you want to take out all the monsters before you go for the boss, because the more damage you do to him, the more he becomes enraged, and the more he breaks free, the faster he breaks free of his chains. So in a little bit you guys will see when he breaks free of his chains, and then all hell breaks loose, because he's not the easiest of bosses, but he's definitely fun. As you guys can see, there's just monsters everywhere. There's a knight across the room. I want to make sure that you take out all the monsters that are just in your way, that are bothering you, that will cause you problems, because overall during the duration of this boss fight, you will run into more monsters. Don't think just because you're fighting the boss there won't be more monsters spawning. That's not the case. But as you guys can hear, he just broke free of his chains, and all hell is about to break loose. Now what he does is he shoots a, I guess, gaze or some kind of lasers out of his eyes. What I want to do is stay away from him when he's targeting you, and have your teammates really focus him down to get that damage in. Now he does have a weak spot, and every monster in Destiny, I believe, does have a weak spot to them. You know, a spot that gets critical hits, or spots that just they take more damage than usual. And his spot is just under his eye, and like you'll see, it's like a very, I guess like a very, very, oh god, that was a very bad idea, by the way. Don't get close to him either. He does own you in melee. I think he will one-shot you. So you don't want to shoot him right in his eye, but you want to shoot right underneath his eye. It's like a little, like near his stomach area. Now this is his back, but you will see the area that I am speaking of a little bit. And I am taking damage from this knight. As you guys, like I said earlier, monsters do start spawning, and you want to be very, very cautious of what is around you, because I wasn't paying attention at all what was going on, and there was a knight right behind me. So be very careful when you're doing these boss fights, and be very cautious of the monsters that can spawn around you, because at the end of the day, if you die, your team will die, and you guys need to work together to take out these monsters and take out this boss, because it's a bit difficult, especially if you guys aren't working together. So as you guys can see, more monsters are spawning, and I decided to take on the duty of killing these monsters at times, and then sometimes I got distracted and went back for the boss. But overall, the mobs aren't really anything to worry about if you guys have someone working on them. So if you guys just let them free roam and let them do whatever they wanted, and you know, really just did damage you guys while the boss was on you, then you'd have some serious problems. But if you just went ahead and had someone handle that, you should be fine. Now hopefully I can show you guys really quickly what the boss looks like and what his weak point is. It's right under his stomach. You guys saw that? It's right there, that little circular globe area that he has, similar to his eye, but it's on his stomach. So as you guys can see, I just picked up some very heavy ammo. Gonna go ahead and reload that real quick and put some damage into him, because the heavy gun that you receive, or the heavy gun that you choose to have, does do a great amount of damage. I'm gonna try to get his weak spot right here, and there you go. So 91 damage per shot. It's a very critical spot that you want to aim at, because anywhere else I believe does a lot less in the 70s area. But you want to also make sure you stay away from his gaze, his eyes, because he will wreck you. And over time, that damage does stack up, and it does an AoE splash effect. So if you do stand behind a pillar and you know you're not really paying attention, you know, make sure you stay away from that gaze. Stay away from that eye because it will do damage. A lot of damage, especially. As you guys can see, I'm very, very low on health. I'm going to go ahead and hide right here really quickly just to get some health back, get my shields back up, and there we go. I'm ready to get back into the fight. As you guys can see, he's about to do some melee damage to me, but it throws me back, and thankfully it did because I am able to get away from him in a very easy manner. Now, he's very, very low on HP, and I want to make sure I do as much damage to him as possible, but sadly, I don't. I got eye blasted to death, but my teammates will take him down, luckily for me, and I will still receive that XP and that credit for partaking in this boss fight. So, it's pretty cool, and as you guys see right here, he has like almost no health left, maybe like 20%, 10-15% health, and we're going to go ahead and take him down. But the more and more damage you do, the more angry he gets, I believe, and I wish there were enrage timers in this game. It seems as if there's no enrage timers where you can just take your sweet time and do this as long as you want. As long as you kill him, you kill him. But at the end of the day, it's all up to what you guys make of these boss fights. And there he goes. He's down. He's a goner. 3, 2, 1. Oh, and I also just died. Well, thank you so much, Architects, for killing me. But luckily enough for us, we did end up downing the boss. The abomination has been destroyed. So the Vanguard will be grateful. Very, very awesome. And just so you guys know, every time you kill a boss, you're not automatically rewarded loot. But in the area right now, there is a chest. And you always want to find the chest because you only have like 30 seconds to find it. And if you find it, you do find some extra loot. But every time you do finish a strike or a mission, you are taken to a, I guess, you know, awards tab or awards table of what you're given. And there's a lot of pros and cons to this. A lot of people don't like that, but because sometimes you're not awarded anything. Sometimes, you know, the person that did the least on your team is awarded the most. And as you guys can see, there's the chest right there, I believe, and I ended up not being able to get it because that's when the mission ended. But there's my advancement. That's what I bonused on. And then my rewards are right here. So as you guys can see, I got 47 kills, 17 assists, 0 orbs, and my rewards are 2 blues. As you guys can see, 2 rares. And then the person that did really well at top, which was Destiny 021, only got 1 item. So it's very, very just like up in the air. The Hunter, Warlock, and myself all got different types of items, and you get what your class is. So not really much going on there, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video. Later, guys.